Alright everyone, I'm going to show you my fix for the inner road gliding fairing vents for them sticking open or closed. I have a T20 here. We've got one Torx bit right here and then one more on the outside over here. We're going to remove both of those. One. Two. And this should now just pull right out. Ta-da. First things first. Gotta pull. We're gonna take this spring off here. Go ahead and disconnect it. Be careful not to lose that, like I just tried to. Let's set it up here. We're gonna set it up here with the other one. Next thing, you got this little plastic push right here. I take some pliers. Just gonna squeeze it and push it through. Put a little tension on it there. There you go. You're gonna have to do it twice because there's a lip on each one. Ta-da. So now that's separate. We're going to get 3 Torx bits right here. We're going to use the same T20. Pull those out. Yeah, this just separates like that. I'll set this off to the side, don't need it right now. Next step, we need to pull the handle out, or I guess the button, the switch, the lever. We're going to it's just push locked in there, so we're going to spray a little bit of lube on both sides. Work that in there a little bit. Take a pick of some sort, kind of wedge it in there. Want to be careful, of course this is plastic. Just kind of pop it out. Go over to the other side, do the same thing. Of course this side's not going to be as easy. There we go. Okay. That pops out. Separate, we don't need that anymore. Set it off to the side. Next step, so this little box right here that we're trying to get to, that is the locking and unlocking mechanism for the vent door. We're going to just little push plastics. We're going to get a little picker, screwdriver, whatever you got on there, push it in, push it to the other side, unlock it. Got another little one right here. I'm gonna push it in while we push down. Pops out. That's separate now. See, in there all that great, but these little grooves right here, so you got this little switch, and whenever you push down, slides over and locks it into place. And then when you ever push it past, it goes, unlocks, and goes. So it actually slides up to right here, locks down in that groove right there, and you push it past, and it locks up. Now, it looked like on this one that it comes with lube, which is nice originally. When it gets old, this fairing here is a 15. That grease just collects dirt and grime, which locks it up. So that's what we're trying to free up. You're going to spray inside there real good. You're just going to work it with the brake cleaner, air hose, WD-40. WD-40 will be good to get it moving. The brake cleaner will be good to clean out that grease and grime that's inside there. So while messing with this thing more, I found out that it can come apart. If y'all want to get a little bit better clean on it, this little rocker here slides out. Push this button down so you see that gap. You'll see a gap between the arms when it clears up that's just big enough. There's a little arm here to slide out of. Piece just pulls out. Let's make sure not to lose that. It's small. Next thing, on these sides here, these little sliders are holding it in. So what you'll do is you'll flip it around, grab it, and peel, kind of bend it. Those will pop out like so. Just watch out because there is a spring inside. My first one shot out on me. And then there you go. You can get a better clean on all the grooves. Take it apart. This next part, it might be easier for you to leave this out because we're going to have to glue to it. I'm going to go ahead and put it back together though. That works just fine for me. So you'll slide the spring back on. There's a little, I don't know if you can see it in there, there's a little leg the spring sits on top of. And then making sure that you're sliding it in the right direction. You will just fold this back in there and springs back in there. We'll take this little bitty piece that we pulled out. As far as I know, it can only go in one way. Oop. There we go, trying to lose it. It's got the one little leg on the bottom here that will go towards the inside here. And then the one on the top will of course go on the outside. I'll push that to where that little column lights up. And slide that back on in there. And ta-da, it goes back to working. Alright, so what I found out from looking at my one that is working is that there is in fact supposed to be a locker on this side. These little arms right here, see them in person, they're broken. And the lever, it's bent out a little bit. So this will go down here, it gets pressed around that, and then when you pull it back up, it releases, and then this pulls right back out. I'll show you on this operating one. You can see that's the arm right there that's broken off. So whenever you push the button, it squeezes around the arm, holding it in there. And then whenever it comes back out, it spreads and lets it come back up again. We've got to build us one of those. We're going to take a little 10 centimeter, 4-inch tie wrap. See the little circle, I guess from the mold or the marking, you're going to cut right on the bottom of that circle. I did want a little bit longer than that, and the issue I had was whenever I released the switch and it was opened. It let that little handle pull too far back up, which left a gap, which the wind then would have caught and ripped this new glue clean off. So it does have to be rather short. Next, I'm going to take a Dremel. I'm going to cut the thickness of this way. I'm going to try to cut it in half. Originally, the other one I cut the top half here off, but that's not really necessary, so we won't do it again. Now we need some super glue. We're going to take a trimmed down zip tie. That'll focus. Put our drops on it. If you have a plastic welder or solder, you can do that. Mine is broken. I do not currently have one, which is why I'm using this method. I want to make sure that the head of the zip tie is pointing towards the inside, because that is where we are going to need our hook point. Also make sure you give it a little bit of a tilt, because it needs to be able to slide in and out freely. Make sure it's somewhat leveled and centered. It's a little off center, but that's not a big deal. I'm gonna go ahead and take some more with my glue. Get it around the edges, all the way around this. Just make sure it's coated all the way around. Since this does not hold, I will end up doing the soldering method, basically welding this together. Honestly, I didn't think about that till just now. Huh? Talking to the camera. Alright, now I've got my glued together and built me a new little bracket here with some leftover zip tie. That one had snapped off, so I built me a new little one there. Got my new bracket glued on there. So now it's time to put the vent back together. I'm going to take our piece here, and again remember, it's going to feed in like so. And you got the big clip. It's got a bigger slot here for it. So I'll go up this way, pull it through. Alright, so I just fast forwarded the reinstall portion just so I can show you that I have it back together and they're functioning properly. There you have it. Or something else that we had talked about maybe would work, I don't know. I assume they would be plug and play. Is just buying you some of the updated 2020 style vents that are just open all the time. The top one, of course, still opens and closes, but these they got rid of the switch function altogether. So possibly these are just plug and play. Most people tend to leave the vents open all the time anyway, so you can just replace them with these, and that way you won't have a problem with the switch breaking anymore. Option's yours.